Greetings and welcome to another installment of the Clinical Data Informaticist series. Today we'll be talking about EHR data, formats, and data warehousing. Before we begin, I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce myself. My name is Matt Hayes and I am a certified imaging informatics professional. Presently, I am the PACS manager for Radiology Partners. I've been in the PACS and imaging game for over 15 years with exposure to multiple subspecialties within imaging, including radiology, cardiology, and digital pathology. But presently, I'm only a year and a half within my operational management journey, and I'm focusing strictly on the practice of radiology. For my disclosures, I would like to say I do participate as a member of the Clinical Advisory Board for Vital Images. I'm here today to address the complicated environment in which health informaticists operate. There seems to be a never-ending litany of subspecialty systems that clinicians need to operate within a healthcare enterprise. This is not an exhaustive list and seems to keep growing every year. Each of these systems contains information, history, and actions as it pertains to patient care delivery. But at the end of the day, the one common clinical landing place for caregivers is the electronic medical record, or EMR. Needless to say, our environment gets multidimensional and complicated very quickly. These softwares exist to service a wide variety of clinical users with different backgrounds and needs. Increasingly, they're not even located on the same campus anymore and can be across the city, across the state, across the country, or even across the globe. Environments can even vary due to implementation methods or even inherited through mergers and acquisitions. Just because two applications are in the same class of software does not necessarily make them equivalent. Here's an anecdotal example pulled from my own experience. On one hand, you have an academic medical center that is well-resourced and has a strong IT department. They have partnered with a vendor that offers robust functionality and have purchased every function and module in order to serve multiple clinical departments. They've even pursued cloud connectivity to help them with disaster recovery and business continuity. On the other hand, there is a community medical center in a rural area of the state that the academic medical center has just partnered with. They have gone with a different vendor. This community medical center has just recently come off of paper charting. In some instances, they were even keeping track of clinical data in spreadsheets and word process documents. Due to the lack of resourcing, they've only implemented the scheduling and outpatient functions on their digital journey. They do not have the same amount of IT support that the academic medical center has and has deployed their hardware in secure closets near the facilities department in order for them to be protected and ventilated. Their internet connectivity is also nowhere near as good as the academic medical center. So where does this situation put us as informaticists? Keeping in mind two base principles of continuing care and improving the care based on the data that is given, this puts us in a very interesting predicament. More often than not, these systems do not natively exchange information between each other. This can be due to a multitude of factors. Some considerations are implementation philosophies, design choices, development options, as well as proprietary knowledge and data algorithms that are contained within the products themselves. Vendors are extremely reluctant to give up those secrets, let alone let a customer make modifications on the fly to the applications themselves. That could harm stability, security, and even delivery of service. In our reality, the data is highly fluid. Unfortunately, it is also still very siloed. Within the walls of the applications, the vendors reign supreme. They often employ their own strategies to enhance functionality and performance within the boundaries of their applications. But there lays the problem. How do we as customers access information in a vendor's proprietary sandbox? We do have solutions, and there are many interoperability frameworks that exist to help exchange information between these systems. However, it is still optional whether a vendor will choose to implement them or not. That leaves us in the informatics business to deploy a few different types of strategies. You can rip out one of the legacy systems and choose to replace it with the other, or you can make a consolidated effort to interoperate with them. At times, this may require building custom APIs that do not exist. but also there are other standard frameworks such as HL7 interoperability messaging, as well as DICOM for image exchange. Through all of this, though, I do caution everybody to keep their eye on the larger goal of information exchange and not get too far into the weeds of trying to solve every single problem that every single integration presents. A data warehouse is an additional option. It can become a customer's own data playground. A data warehouse both collects and stores copies of exchanged information that is built on all the standards that we've talked about previously. Also, it has the capabilities of gathering and harvesting information directly from applications where privilege is allowed. This data silo gives a customer the ability to take the information as it is and tailor the outputs to what they need to be. Fundamentally, there isn't a magic application that does everything for everybody. If you're going to push the envelope of what your applications are capable of, you may find yourself having to build it yourself. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I would say to keep in mind have a good understanding of what you're trying to do with your data so you can make sure that you're designing your systems accordingly. Thank you for joining us today. This is just the start of the conversation. There's so much more to be had at SIIM. SIIM has a wealth of knowledge online and in our forums. I would encourage you to join us at the upcoming Machine Intelligence meeting, as well as the annual meeting to meet your peers and keep the conversations going. Hope to see you there.